Hey, so just to start this off, it's the day after Halloween. Check out my pumpkins. These are Halloween pumpkins. Oh my god, so cool. There's the squash we did a long time ago. There's Red Guy from that show. And my dog barking. Hello, and welcome to Rigaman Foods. Today, I'll be showing you how to make sticky chicken, inspired by the album Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones. I love the cover art. It's absolutely iconic. And I love the music on it as well. Today's chicken is really delicious. It's sweet, it's spicy, above all, it's sticky, as the album and title imply, but it's got tang to it. It really is a delicious mix between the sauce and the glaze that just goes so well with the chicken. You will not regret trying this. And it's absolutely standout. This is something I would consider a signature dish of mine, and I would also consider this the Rolling Stones as one of their signature albums, so I think that makes perfect sense.
You know I can't let you slide through my hands.
So to start this sticky chicken, of course we're going to need chicken. We're going to get some baking powder, put that in an empty vessel, and just smooth it out. And we're going to coat all our little chicken drumsticks in said baking powder. Then in a separate bowl, we're going to get some garlic powder, mix that with some black pepper, and some Italiano spice, as well as some everything bagel seasoning. Then we're going to get some old-fashioned brown sugar and put that in too, and roll our breaded chicken around in there until it's all nice and seasoned. Then we're going to take some sesame oil, and we're just going to pour that over top of it all. Then we're going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. Now I got the chickens breaded and it's cooking in the oven. Before we start our glaze, we can talk about the album a little bit. So as I mentioned before, I consider this one of the most standout, signature, and iconic albums of the Rolling Stones. But my reasoning for this, it has less to do with the music and honestly more to do with the art. Not that the music on this album is bad by any means, but I'd say a lot of it doesn't stand out to me.
Of the ambulance is sounding in my ear. Tell me, Sister Morphine.
There are 3 songs on this album in particular, those being Brown Sugar, Wild Horses,
Wild horses couldn't drag me away.
and Can't You Hear Me Knocking. Can't You Hear Me Knocking being honestly the weakest of the 3 even.
You got satin shoes. Yeah, you got nasty boots. Y'all got cocaine eyes.
And anyways, I think those 3 tracks are excellent. They're great. But the other tracks on here really, they don't necessarily do much for me. What I do really love is just how much this image on the cover has picked up and been circulated around, how many times it's been parodied or homaged to in the industry. You see it everywhere. And what's really interesting is that some copies actually have a physical working zipper, and it's super expensive if you can find one. Now to make our sticky chicken sticky, we need sticky chicken sauce. which means a lot of sugar, into a sauce that's essentially a glaze. Right now we're going to pour in about a cup and a quarter of sugar, as well as a cup and a quarter of orange juice. Then we're going to put in 2 big scoops of gochujang paste. This is from the Korean market and it's delicious. It makes things really nice and spicy. We're going to stir that all together. Then we're going to add in some minced garlic, 2 scoops, as well as about a shot of 40 Creek spice rum. Then we're going to pour in some oyster sauce and some rice vinegar, about a quarter cup of rice vinegar, and a scoop of chicken stock. Then we're going to stir this all together until it's a nice homogeneous mixture. And we're going to let it cook on high. We're going to let it boil, keep stirring constantly using a rubber spatula. Then take it off the heat once it's reduced a significant amount, and I added some more sugar on top of this. So I'd say in total, 2 cups and a half of sugar. It requires a lot of sugar, but it's really good. This thickens up the glaze to some degree. We're not trying for a glaze though. This is halfway between a glaze and a sauce. That texture is really good. Now that the sauce has all its flavors and components in it and tastes delicious, we're going to keep it on the heat and allow it to continue boiling. This will allow it to get thinner and thinner, and we'll do this until the chicken is completely done cooking in the oven for that full 40-minute duration. Longer if it needs to be. You just want the chicken to be completely cooked through before you put the sauce on it. But now that we've got a pause, we can talk about the Rolling Stones a little bit. So as I was saying, the Rolling Stones are an iconic band, absolutely iconic. They've been touring and are still touring. They've been touring for an incredibly long time, since the 60s, and they're still around today, which is beyond commendable.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
Their influence on music is literally undeniable. They've inspired countless bands. Their music has evolved and changed and existed for decades and decades and decades now, and continues to be incredibly popular. There's just absolutely no denying how influential and how massive and important the Rolling Stones are as a whole. And even if this isn't my favorite Rolling Stones album, it's got an incredible cover, it's got incredible music on it.
I bet your mama was the threshold queen, and all the portraits of Sweet 16.
And I just wanted to comment on Mick Jagger being an incredible frontman.
I've been around for many a long year, stole many a man's soul and faith.
Because it is just insane how long he's been a frontman for, and he's still fucking doing it, which is awesome.
Come on.
Now that the chicken's been in there for about 40 minutes, you can take it out of the oven. I still have this on high. I was trying to reduce it a bit further, so it's boiling a little bit, you'll see, but it's actually totally fine as is. This will thicken up a little bit on the chicken, and you can see it coats the pan when you swish it around, which means it's thick enough to be used as a sort of glaze. Again, this isn't really a glaze, it's more halfway between the glaze and the sauce, but we're going to take this shallow ladle, I'll call it, maybe just a sausage spoon, and we're just going to pour this all over the chicken like so. Then we're going to take chives, just a few of them, chop them up nicely, and just sprinkle them over top. I find chives have a very, very nice flavor. I really like onions. Chives taste fresh and delicious. Then I put some sesame seeds on top too. I love sesame seeds for the texture. I also love them for the flavor. The white sesame seeds also look nice on top of this dish. And now it's ready to go. I had it with some rice. It was quite delicious. And there's our sticky chicken. Tangy, spicy, delicious. It has brown sugar in it, of course. It was actually an incredible tasting chicken. And this glaze is absolutely delicious. Sauce or glaze, whatever you want to call it. It's so good. So make sure you try it. Get ready to have some sticky fingers and eat some sticky chicken. Yum yum.